Hello. Today I'd like to say a few words about my SvBony 405cc. It's a color one-shot camera. There's the sensor. It's cooled. I made some notes here. It costs $838. Uses an IMX294 CMOS sensor. The format is 4:3. It's cooled. It has a 4.63 pixel size. Diagonals 23.2 millimeters. It only operates in bin 2, where it has 4,144 by 2,822 pixels. I've had this for over a year now, and it takes a big picture. I mean, you can take pictures of really big things with it, especially if you're using a wide field short achromat. It's real picky about darks. When you take the darks, if it doesn't like them, you get a whole lot of hot and cold pixels. If it likes them, you're still liable to get a bunch of black pixels. Dark gray, not the same color as the sky behind it. So you have to be careful when you're taking the darks. And I wouldn't advise you as to how to take them, because each set of capturing software differs slightly. But I did finally kind of figure out how to take the darks with this, and that was put it on 128, 128, 128 as far as the color balance. Put the lid on it, plug it in, put it under a blanket outside in the cold, wait a half hour, then take your darks. Once you do that, however, once you get the darks working with it, it works pretty well. It's an old design, so the electronics aren't shielded. There's an awful lot of dedicated astronomy cameras that have unshielded electronics inside them, and that causes something called amp glow. When you look at the side of the photograph, it looks like somebody is standing right out of frame with a sparkler. You get all kinds of little sparkly lights appearing on it. And the darks will cure that and hide them. It doesn't cure it, but it does hide them. I've taken an awful lot of photographs with it, and once you learn how, it's picky, but once you learn how, you get some pretty good photographs. This photograph right here, for instance, Messier 31 in Andromeda, I took with this camera using an SvBony 503 80mm ED refractor and a UV IR filter, SvBony UV IR filter in fact, and 180 1-minute subs. Now I do EAA, so I don't do post-processing. So what you see here in this picture is at the end of 3 hours, I said save it as is, and that's just what I got. I picked 3 hours, by the way, because when Andromeda came up over the trees to my east, it was 3 hours before they went down below the trees on the west. So I had 3 hours to take the picture. I'll put some more photos I took with this camera here at the end of the video. At $800 plus, a lot of people aren't going to want to buy this camera, especially if they can get something like a SvBony 705cc, which is a superior camera in every way, but has a smaller field of view. So you can't take pictures of really big things, let you stitch them together, and it only costs like $300 or $400. But some people will want to buy it. It's cheaper than the $1,200 ZWO 294cc. And the only difference between these two, only thing you get for your extra $400 is the SvBony can operate in bin 1. This can only operate in bin 2. It's not locked. So that means you get 4144 times 2822 pixels. With the SWO version, you can double that. You get 8288 by 5644. In other words, each pixel size is half as large, and you get twice as many. That gives you greater detail and multiplies your the length it takes to take a sub by 2. So it takes twice as long to get twice as accurate, twice as detailed a picture. That's really the only difference between the two. I like this camera. I've used it a lot, and I'm glad I bought it. And if you have $838 lying around, they often put these, SvBony often runs sales. So you might get this for $700 or even $650 if you buy it at the right time. It's a pretty good camera. By the way, these Cooled cameras are kind of heavy. I'll show you what I mean. When I used it with this optical tube right here, Skyoptis 90mm, once I put the field reducer and the camera and everything on back here and 50mm of spacing, it got so heavy I couldn't balance it on my equatorial mount. So what I had to do was buy an extra long dub bar and then stick it back here, which is further back than the smaller dub bar would go. My point is, I've had to do this with several refractors. When you buy a Cooled camera, whether it's ZWO or SvBony, it weighs about 1.5 pounds as opposed to 2 or 3 ounces like the uncooled cameras. You're liable to have to buy a longer dub bar and move the telescope forward, the optical tube forward on the dub bar, so that you can balance it. Just thought I'd tell you that. So your final expenditure won't be $800. It'll be $800 plus $20 for an extra long dub bar. Yeah. I'll leave you with some photographs I took of this, and until we meet again, happy trails.